Auburn this season, I've expanded it to high major opponents. When Auburn's defensive efficiency, so points per 100 possessions, is below 110, they are 9-1. When it is above 110, which is bad.
What's the loss?
Houston.
Okay.
When it's above,
so they haven't lost a conference game.
Nope.
Auburn has not lost an SEC game when they.
Well, and how about this? I include with the high major opponents because your St. John's and your NC State wins come in that. Auburn is 1-13 when it's above that mark, with the only win being in Texas. If you defend, you win. Todd Pettiford said this after the game. If we stop the players on the other team, we know we can score on offense. It's just taking pride in that and knowing that's going to be a major key in us winning games or not winning games. Period. Like, we all knew this, and the team knew this. But, I thought it really bore itself out in this game where it's like, again, if you look in this losing streak or this skid Auburn's had, this last, they've lost 7 out of their last 9 games. All 7 of those losses were not good on defense. Their 2 wins were their 2 best games on defense. Their 2 wins weren't their 2 best games on offense. So to get back into that, it's just, again, you can really tell if Auburn's going to have a shot in a game or not, for the most part, if they're just playing defense. And in this game, the first quarter and change, LSU was getting hit in shots. But Auburn was hanging in there by being disruptive on defense and getting takeaways.
Auburn settled in the first quarter,
yes.
right? Because there is a stretch of
they
basketball.
They got to get their own offense going, but they're also their defense had to start settling in as well.
I think there was. I'd be interested to know if it was on the sideline too, like the thought of there was some here we go again early on where it felt like you were doing almost enough defensively, but LSU was still creating offense, and it's like this isn't because that's the other thing is I've had people. We raised the point earlier in the season about fatigue being part of the problem. And yes, like there is the, defense's conditioning is an axiom in basketball, and the shorter your rotation is, the more, heavily you lean on your starters, the tougher it's going to be for those guys to play outstanding defense or hit jump shots for that matter in the final few minutes of games. In February, you had some rough defensive outings early, right?
Yep.
Like you had some situations where it's tough to blame that on fatigue when you're talking about the first 10 minutes of a game. LSU played some of their best offense of the game early on against Auburn, but then Auburn settles in, and while the shooting percentages don't drastically go down, Auburn does start forcing more.
They do start more misses. But here's the other thing, too. It's just, like, you can play the percentage game and say, oh, well, they hit a lot of their shots. Well, LSU also had less than a point per possession in the first half. Because guess what? If they don't get a shot off, that's a stop, right? It's one of those funny things is like a stop can be a missed shot and a defensive rebound. That's the classic way of doing it.